I think you can beat all of this.
We want only him to be in the
We can add the screen and the screen.
Super. Can you start?
Yeah, start.
So we'll get into the slides very quickly because they are just half an hour. I'll be using Kannada and English in between, so I think that's the reason of the session. And, we will introduce ourselves a bit later in the game, so just wait for it. Just to go to the agenda.
Yeah.
I'll just continue and then we'll introduce each one separately. Okay, we'll not make it as a big agenda slide, but naವೇನು cover ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ
what we are going to cover
is the list of things that has been mentioned here. There are different sections that we have divided this session as, and it's based on a learning course that is available on the net. And Learning Kannada is the website where you can go and then check each one of this. And what we have done is we have extracted some of that learning here into this PPT slide. Based on a PPT slide, it shouldn't have been, but we thought that that's the easier and the best way to actually proceed with the sessions. I'll not go and describe each one, but what we'll do predominantly is initially some of the words we'll introduce. Hogi, Banni, Nanu, Ninu. Okay? And then we will go into some of the words and making of the simple sentences. And then we'll go into relationships, not for thalis, but it is for the good ones. And then some greetings, what do you usually greet others as, and some of the directions. Some of the directions, Rajaji Narak Hokbeku, Balagade Hokbeku, straight. Okay, so some of those we'll talk. I think it's more about when you meet somebody, what do you need to ask first? And you may not be able to actually continue the second sentence, but at least first sentence you can start with. And that's a good start. Fruits, vegetables, and there it's more of how we will talk to a vendor. Tarkari bele ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಟೊಮೆಟೊ ಇದೆಯಾ okay only to that extent, and there are some easy ways of learning it so that you will get to know the words. You have a reference, you can repeat it. One thing is that you will be bombarded with lot of words. Catch as much as possible.
you know this is yes.
So just to continue, catch as much as possible and then start repeating it. There are no galis in this, so there are no bad words in this, so just repeat. Nothing as a shiner that you need to hold back, because if you start doing it, then it will not come out. It is not something like a supply chain visibility GTN 101 course. Correct? It's not that. It's something which you need to try out. You need to come out of your shackles and you need to start talking about it. Lot of colors, we just define the colors. What are the colors that are there? Inquiry, I don't say for being for some of the gades, that's what it's called as in Kannada. It's just for reference. If somebody is telling that, then you know why they are telling in good or bad way, but cannot be able to believe something. So to that extent. Then it's a continuous thing. You can start. I think it is not that we need to complete all this and start learning. You can start it from today. You can talk to anybody beside you or even on the road, friends, family members. So it's a continuous thing. It's not like that you just done the course, you need to take a quiz. After you take the quiz, if you pass, then only you can do it. No, there's nothing of that kind. You can start it today. Next, ground rules. I think it's a self-read. Very importantly, speak up. Whatever that words that are mentioned here, there will be a lot of new words start pronouncing it. Because one of the things that will happen as a hesitation, and it's applicable to me, because if I say that, do I know Malayalam? Not be acquired from the name of the Malayalam, but it is because I don't know the word, so I don't know whether it's going to be spelled or pronounced in the right way, so I don't pronounce it, correct? So make sure that you just do it. There are, what will happen basically is that Nanu, Niu, Ninu, these are all plural or with a respect, without a respect. Ninu is singular. But that is okay. If you even make a mistake interchangeably, that's okay. There's nothing bad about it. Because people speak, even those who speak for a long time will do that. So make sure that you repeat it and it will get into your brain. Just this is important. Whomever that you know of, buddy, Gedaya, friend, talk to him. Use some of the words that are there here. It's not required that you need to just list down, write it up, and then you start speaking it, because what happens when you write it up, you will not find a sentence to actually make that. Start talking about it. Nanu, Niu, Hoktene, Battene. First thing, initial thing is Nanna Hesaru Navina. Okay? The first thing, which is my name is. If you want to say what if somebody asks what is your name, main thing is Nanna Hesaru Navina. You all can tell the same thing, but I think this is a good place to start introducing this team which has done this. So we will start, and what we'll do is that we'll go from left to right or center to outside, whatever it is. But everyone will tell these two sentences and that's how you will introduce yourself. Okay? The first one is Nanna Hesaru Navina. Simple, 2 words, nothing, 3 words. Next, Nanna Uru Mysore. Means my native place is Mysore. So these are the 2 common things that you will get to know whenever somebody you meet. And one thing is you need to introduce yourself as Hesaru, and then they will ask, hey, where are you from? So you can say Nanna Uru Mysore. Or my Nanna place Mysore, no problem. But at least Nanna is known as I. Uru is a Kannada word, but you can put place. But then you know what he is asking, and that is more information. So, Nanna Hesaru Navina, Nanna Uru Mysore. That's about me. So I'll leave it to others. First we'll go from the people who are going to speak here. And this is going to be the structure going forward for another 10 days. We will change. Nigu will take some sessions and everybody else will take some sessions. And then we'll talk and please do interact during the sessions.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ. ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ವಿನೋದ್ ಪ್ರಭು. ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಮಂಗಳೂರು.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ನಂದೀಶ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಮಂಡ್ಯ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ನಂದೀಶ್,
ನನ್ನ
ಊರು ಒಡಿಶಾ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಕೋಲ್ಕತ್ತಾ.
That's okay. That's why it has to be told, because you will come to know about it within the sequence. Go ahead.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ರಾಜೀವ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಕೋಲ್ಕತ್ತಾ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ತುಷಾರ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಯುಪಿ, ಉತ್ತರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಅಲೋಕ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಲಕ್ನೋ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ನರೇನ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು AP.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಮೇಘನಾ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಅಸ್ಸಾಂ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಮರಿಸಾ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಸುರ್ಭಿ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಪ್ರಭು, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಚೆನ್ನೈ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ನಿಬು, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಮನೋರಂಜನ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಕೋಲ್ಕತ್ತಾ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಅವಿನಾಶ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಭುವನೇಶ್ವರ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ದೇವನಾರಾಯಣ್ ಸಿನಾರೆ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಕೋಲ್ಕತ್ತಾ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಸಂತೋಷ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಊಟಿ. I'm the worst. I mean, I don't know my own native language. But I do know Tulu.
Yeah, similar to that.
Yes, kind of similar.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಜ್ಯೋತಿ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ರುದ್ರ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಜಮಶೆಡ್ಪುರ್.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ನೀಲಂ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ರಾಜಸ್ಥಾನ್.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಚೆನ್ನೈ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಜಯದೀಪ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಅಸ್ಸಾಂ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಜೋಯ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಕೊಚ್ಚಿ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ರಿಜೀಶ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಕ್ಯಾಲಿಕಟ್.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಶ್ವೇತಲೀಲಾ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಕೊಲಸೆ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಮಿಲಿಂದ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಕೋಲ್ಕತ್ತಾ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್ ವೆಂಕಟರಾಮನ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಚೆನ್ನೈ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ರವಿಕೃಷ್ಣ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಗೋವಾ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಫಸೀಲಾ, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ವಯನಾಡ್.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಸುಯಶ್, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಔರಂಗಾಬಾದ್.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಕನು, ನನ್ನ ಊರು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು.
I just want, what would the question be to answer this?
I think we will cover that in the few other slides of asking questions, but otherwise, Ninna Hesaru Enu. Enu is what? So, it's the English to Kannada. It cannot be the exact word-to-word translation, but that what Nibu was translating or always mentioning was that you convert English to your own local language, and that will always be similar to how you convert it into Kannada. Because if you are accustomed to Telugu, Tamil, or any of that, apart from the English, then definitely the word-to-word conversion will come from your mother tongue, which is equivalent. Otherwise, if you see what is your name, so what is Enu? There is no conversion, but your is Nimma, name is Hesaru. That does not go along because the structure of Kannada sentences are different, or probably all the Indian languages are different. So that's why easy in the initial stages to convert, but even if it is not possible, through the word, the person who is hearing will make the sentence out of it.
Out of curiosity, if you translate from Hindi to Kannada and I say आपका नाम क्या है, so how would that translate to Kannada?
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು ಏನು?
ನಿಮ್ಮ, yeah.
Exactly the word to word.
Okay, Nimma
ಹೆಸರು ಏನು?
Enu is what? Nimma means
Yes.
you. So it's there in some of the next slides that are coming in, but I think the structure-wise, otherwise it will become different. And I've seen many people throwing the words at you, and it's up to you to make the sentence. So it's okay. Hesaru Nimma Enu. So it is okay. You will make sentence out of it. So it's okay to just make sure that the words are right, and then you start making sentences. So all introductions over.
We have one.
Yes, I think we have a song, Kannada song.
Okay, we can have that.
Okay, so the other thing that Surbi said was, aapki. So that's a very important concept. So if you remember to address that who you're talking to in the plural, they will tell you that you know very good Kannada. So that's a tip. So just like how you say aapki or you with respect, right? Mostly I think Indian languages have that plural form of you, because in English you is your grandfather, you is your son, right? But it's not like that in most Indian languages. Just like that, you got to remember that for Kannada too. So when you're speaking to somebody, even if he's in your own age, right? Instead of saying Ninu is actually being disrespectful, especially for older people. You don't say you have to say aap. Just remember that. So we'll show you the words. I mean, when you're learning the words, we're going to teach you the plural, so it will be easy for you. So you can give respect to your children also. So it's fine.
So when you have confusion, use either of that. If somebody makes comment, you will come to know about it. Because I think that is the only way. The one way that prevents anybody in speaking a different language is this funda, which is to say that, hey, am I going to hurt him or not? Because of that, we stop saying that. But it's okay, because if you see most of the people outside, they will use this interchangeably initially, but until unless that other person doesn't hate us. So make sure that if you are hurt, we are not responsible. Disclaimer. Okay, I think we'll move on. So these are some of, and the structure that we will follow now. Is there a song? No, correct?
Sorry?
Is there a song?
Song we'll hold it after the.
Okay, so the structure is we'll give you some of the words and the meaning. Just rehearse the, tell it or pronounce it so that you will be able to make sentence out of it. And what we have is we'll go through 1 or 2 slides and then we'll ask, let us make sentences out of these 2-letter words. 2 words, sentences, okay, not letter words, okay. Stop is nillisi. Nillisi. Just this. Yeah. So if you're, so I'll stop it now because you said. Illa. That's it. Then the second one. So these 2 are very important. Okay. So it is that Chennai Express Mundi Hilani. So that is very important because it's the language was translated into a symbol, and if you are just stuck to that, then it might be a difficult thing. Yes is hauda. Haudu. Haudu is yes. Haudu. Illa is no.
What's the difference between hauda and haudu?
Hauda is a question mark.
Okay, hauda is it, and haudu is yes it is. I mean loosely.
Yes.
Okay.
And same thing with Saku and Saka.
Yeah.
Saka. Yes.
Saka is
It's
a question mark.
Saka is a
Yeah,
question.
it's a question mark. You are asking a question.
So generally you
Saku
add
is
an at the
your
end, it
answer.
becomes a question.
Similarly for Vera Verva.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you see on most of the cases, yes. To that extent, even my name, Navina. It should have been Naveen, but it has become Navina. The question mark actually. So, to that extent, yes, but each one of this has variations. People use it and suddenly may, but it is, you know that it is something related to this. So, I think to that extent, we'll just go through this. If you want to write, we could have written 3 pages on some of these words itself, but we have restricted it to a smaller group so that it goes on expanding.
You will circulate this page.
Yeah, it will be shared by.
One navigation.
Yeah.
So I heard this. There is something called aste.
Aste.
Aste and saku, then similar words, or how these 2 words? Aste.
No, it's different.
It's different perspectives, but if you want to use either way, I think it is. In some sentences, aste works.
That much, right?
That much, and you can use it for even the other, which is not an object. But saku is more on used as if I'm eating, then you put more, you say saku. Saku is also used in more of the other things that, say for example, if I'm eating much and if I'm asking questions, saku, nilsi. Right? Saku is sufficient. Now, okay, stop it. Okay. So in other terms, we use okay so generally that it means everything. Right? So it is like that. Saku. If you want to stop the session at this stage, you can say saku. Nilsi.
Ashte is also.
Ashte also you can use it. It means similar, but it is used in different sentences.
Mostly for non-living objects, kind of.
No, it's nothing to do with living and non-living, but it will different sentences.
Can you give us an example of how of a sentence where ashte would be used with saku won't be? Or is it too early for that? You want to touch it?
Actually, there is nothing which, say for example, some people use ashte and hogtidde ashte ashati bere bantu.
Ashte literally translates with that's it, right?
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Saku is also that's it in a way. So
Okay.
it's not very clear demarcation between ashte and saku. You can consider the stage synonyms. Okay. So the first one is nillisi, God and nilsi. Some people use it very short nilsi, very quickly, but nillisi is the right pronunciation, but you can use either way. There's nothing stopping.
Could you please pronounce it once?
Illa, Veda.
Yeah, it's easy to actually go from top down, but I think when you make sentence in the next slide, just remember what to attach it with.
And where?
Wait a minute. Okay, so these are some, if not all. Next. So this is important, right? I think Nanu means I. First person, if you want to talk about it. In the next slides, we'll talk about the second person. But Nanu, I. So this is important. Always Nanu. There are variations of that. So for example, Nanu, Mysore Hogute. So when I want to use that, I want to go to Mysore, I part of it is Nanu. So just remember that Nanu is I. We'll come to you in the next slides. You, me, and the other ones. Nanige is for me. Nanage uta beku. I want food. Okay, so I want. So Nanage is for me. So Nanage is variation of I, but it is for me.
It pronounced Nanage or Nanige?
Both are okay. Both are
Yeah. Correct. It is both are correct, but
it's a different thing. People from let's say coastal areas say Nanige. People who are in Bangalore, they say Nanage. So different variations.
You will see short forms also. People may say Nange.
Nange. And Nange in Hindi is
I watched that video.
Yeah, there is a video actually from
I posted it on the grid.
You watch it in the YouTube. Abhishek is actually learning Kannada from her.
Abhishek and
So it's, the example is Nange. Okay, so just watch that clipping. It is super. So Nanige is, I think, better, so that you don't actually give another meaning to the Hindi speaking crowd. Nannadu is mine. So E pen Nannadu. This is mine, right? So this pen is mine. So E pen Nannadu.
E means this.
So we'll come to that, but I'm just putting the words there. But so Nannadu means mine.
On the first page, we use Nanna for the name thing. Nanna Hesaru. So is there a difference between Nanna and Nannadu?
Yeah, Nanna means mine. My name is. But when it is mine, it is Nannadu. You can make sentences out of that also, but it is some sentences will go with always my name is, correct? You can make name of mine is, I don't know whether it is possible, but it is only the mine is not for the sentence of asking that my name is. My part of it is Nanna. Mine, and I want to say it in the past or whatever. In that.
In possession sense that this is what I own.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I'm talking English
indirect,
grammar,
correct?
so I don't know
Yeah.
whether it applies that way.
Passive, correct? Mine. So the mine is equivalent to.
If I translate it into Hindi, both have the same meaning. Mera. So.
Yeah, in Hindi.
Kind of possession, as she was mentioning, it's kind of mera ghar hai, so it's
Mera ghar hai or mera naam
In
hai.
Hindi, it becomes same. But
Yeah, it's the
in
same
Tamil
concept.
text, I think it is different. Mine and
No.
mine.
What could happen
Yes.
is my name is Nanna Hesaru. So you relate that to a noun kind of a thing. Nammadu is when you refer to an object or something. So you say Idu Nannadu. You never say Nanna for objects. So that is a difference where you can use these two things.
From the word which he used, idu, he said that e pen, this one, and you said idu. So how are that e, like, is it different variation or you can use it interchangeably?
That's what you
E and
added.
idu.
Nanna plus Idu. Nannadu. Kind of. You add those words and you get
Yeah, so
different-
variations will be there. E pen Nannadu. So I can use just E.
Or idu pen nanna, something
You
like
can use it. I think at this stage. So the Idu means it's equivalent to mine. Okay, and just believe me, you will hear these variations, and that is the point which which is going to make you, hey, I'm not getting it. So don't worry about it. Just fix your thought on the base principles and the first few things, and the variations will go along. There will be different variations and shorter forms, nannage to nange, all that will happen, but that is okay. But once you know this, at least you use it in this way, and others might consider, and they will learn it, they will understand it. It's not that they won't understand. And you will pick the variations of it as you go along, not required at this stage. Nammadu is ours, which is just the plural form of Nannadu and Nammadu. Okay? And when you want to say that, E mane Nammadu, you want to say that it is for your house. All of, say for example, you are telling it, E mane Nannadu, I can tell that this pen is mine. Or E mane, when you are telling it, saying that I'm also including myself and also my family, and say that. Correct? So Nammadu, at that time we say that. Hamara, Mera Hamara. So, E Desha Nammadu. So, the second person, I think you have heard about it. Neenu or Neenu. This is where Nibu was talking about giving respect. This is Neenu means with respect, as plural of. Okay, Neenu is Neenu, it is you. Okay, and when you are talking to your elders, you put Neevu so that it is with respect. But the other side, of the opposite side of it is Neenu. To be safer side, always use the one which is in the bracket so that they won't feel bad. Nobody will feel bad. Neevu, to even if you are telling it to a kid, you may see, oh, what is it? But that is okay. So that you, but just understand that there is a variation of these two. There is no different two words. And it is there in every language. I don't think that we are, like, except in English, it is there in all of our languages. So it's better to use the one which is in the bracket, or parenthesis. Yours, Ninnadu, Nimmadu. And in the previous we saw mine, Nannadu, Nammadu, which is for me. Now all of this we are going into the other side, Nimmadu and Ninnadu. Just talk, just pronounce the yours, all of you once.
Ninnadu, Nimmadu.
So yours itself plural, right? Ninnadu itself plural.
So our we say for both. Yeah.
Our nu.
Our is plural.
Ha. Our word, no. There's no distinction separately. Yeah, you were asking something?
Ninnadu itself, see, yours means is plural.
In English, yes.
Yeah. So Ninnadu and Nimmadu.
It's a respect. Let's say, I'll just give a small example. So you are traveling in an auto, and you say, you'll say to the auto driver, Ninnadu. It's kind of wherein you.
Ninnadu meter sarila.
He will get angry if you say Nindu meter sarila.
Nimmadu meter.
So there is a variation for that. So that plural wherein you are giving respect when you are speaking to someone else.
I think in English it will, I mean, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just trying to understand. If it's like, tera meter kharab hai and aapka meter kharab hai.
Yeah.
That's the exact thing.
You can say tera meter kharab hai also, but next thing you will say aap utar jao. Aapka meter kharab hai, you would say, nahi madam, aisa nahi hai. You know.
Yeah, I think it is there in every language. I don't think
might even accept the saying you used aap.
So it will happen, Ninnadu. So it's better to actually use Nimmadu for everything. Nimmadu tale sarila. What it means is you are not in, your head is not there, in the right place. So even if you use Nimmadu, he will hit you. Might agree. So, but the next words will be definitely other things that will nimmadu meter sari illa. So for an auto driver means the meter is not working. Okay? Nimmadu is what you are going to use it as the second person. She or avadu, avaru, you can use it as plural there again. So what it is, all the variations that you have seen as similar to the previous slide. There is no addition here, but it is the second person. Any questions here? I think So what is the equivalent of you, Neenu in I? Okay. Yours, equivalent of I?
Nannadu.
Ours?
Nammadu.
Super. Again go. Okay. Correct. So these are some of the words that okay, just look at it, and it is not the exhaustive one. We have just taken some of the things that you will use commonly. So you can relate to this because these are verbs now. You would have heard this on a day-to-day. Bunny, definitely. Bunny, uda pogana, bunny, come. Correct? So you may even would have heard ba, simple ba. The singular part of it is ba. The plural of that is bunny, which is with respect. So if you had written the same similar to the earlier one, we should have done ba, bunny. So but just consider for yourself, bunny is the right thing to ask somebody to come. Okay? And there are variations. So just at this level, Bartini, Baralla, right? All that are Barta idea. So don't worry because it's all the present tense, future tense, and present continuous tense. So these are verbs, so there will be continuous come, coming, came. All the equivalents will have Kannada variations, but we have not detailed it because it will become a tabular form. We thought about it, but then it will become big tabular column. So just we are introducing this word. Think about that. It is going to have future and also the past variations of these words. It is okay to use one tense. It's fine because by the gesture you will come to know whether it is past or present. Bunny means it is past. Bunny. So initially it will happen, but it is okay. So gestures actually speak a lot. If you looked at some of the people who are very new and they are doing it, their gestures will speak more of tenses. And that will create tensions, but that is fine. Because the expressions will be calm when there is a question. The gesture is telling that to make it as a question, but that's fine. Okay, so bunny, I think go everybody would have heard. Ogi or Ogu.
So even if you don't know go, you go wherever you want to and then say bunny.
That's a good word to do.
If it's a shorter distance, that's fine.
No, actually, what will happen is, Ogi, you know, something like that. Ogi is the right one to say that. Go. Sit. Kulithukolli. Kulithuko. Kulithuko. Kulithukolli. Kulithuko.
Alright, so something like Kutko.
Yeah, that's a short form.
Yeah.
That is a short one. Kutko. It's okay.
Kutkolli is
How do you pronounce that?
Kulithuko.
Kutko is fine.
Kutko is also.
That is with respect.
Kutko is
Go. Go. That is difficult. Go. It's okay. Stand is nilli. What is that? Nilli.
To make stand. To make someone stand.
Make someone stand. Nilli. Nilli. So just introduce. We thought about making it all variations, but it will be more words. So don't worry. At this stage, Walk, nadi. Anything?
Is Nadi or
Nadi.
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 Neenu nadi. That is what we are going to do next slide, wherein 2-word sentences we are going to make. Bega bani. Correct. Bega means quick, fast. But that's fine. These are the words that will come. And you now know that what is he talking about. Bani is telling come. Bega, 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 bega. So you know that it is, you are asking, the other person is asking you to come fast. That's it. Right? So, but if you don't know Bunny, then you don't know what he is talking about. He's just whether he is just he is very hard and he wants to just come here. Run, Odu. Odu. So there is a variation Odu. Odu is read. Okay. So Odu is actually run.
And what is it? Odu.
Odu. D-H-U.
D-H-U. Odu. There will be some similar to such words in any language, which means slightly other variation will give a different meaning. And when you write that in English, it's always a bit tougher because both spell or pronounce same way. Odu, O-D-U, and Odu, O-D-U, O-D-H-U are similar. You can spell it either way. That's okay. Thinnu, eat. Thinnu, you heard about it as eat.
So if you don't thinnu, you'll become thin.
That's the way to remember it. Kudi, Punjabi, not Punjabi, but it is.
Kudi, all the guys will know Kudi.
Drink.
Kodi is give, right?
Kodi. K-O. Kodi is give. Okay. Kudi is drink. Exactly in Punjabi. So kudi is drink. Kheli is listen. Kheli. Kheli is listen. Haley is tell. It's just the variation of Kheli. So if you want to just make a group of that, it is listen and tell. It's Haley is tell. Kheli is listen. So look at it, and there are ways to even other words that are there in the side, but don't worry about it. These are some of the words that you need to look, listen, talk. Jyoti. Yeah. So I can go next. Yeah, you can. What you can do is just if you can talk about from the first slide or the second slide into the previous slide, make 2 sentences which are common.
Everyone.
Some of the words. You can make it. What you can do is that once he shares the PPT, you can make it as well. In the next class, first 10 minutes, we'll try to make sentences out of this, and you can make anything. It's a combination. Correct? The first one, Nanu, Heli, Niu, Heli, all that. It's a combination. It might not be exactly correct, but that's fine because there will be a variation of each of these words, but that's fine. But we can just make a combination of these two because when you know this Nadi, Heli, Heli, you need a noun, correct? A noun is in the first 2 slides. And just take the variations to that. Permutation and combination. So you know 100 sentences already.
So like he said, knowing that noun and that verb will help you get the message across. It may not be grammatically correct. That we can fix slowly. But once if you can remember the verb and the noun, you can get your message across. You can get your message across with only gestures too. But this is a step better.
Okay? Yeah, because of the time limitation, we will not be able to complete the sentence here. Just make the sentences.
Yeah, so tomorrow I'll send you across these slides, the slides that we have covered so far. And tomorrow everybody should try and make 2 sentences each, 2 words each.
And it can be from the first 2 and then the next line. So it's a combination.
Yeah, it
So
could
that
be
you will-
other words also. Doesn't
Yeah,
have
you
to be-
can. So what happens? The main thing is use these words. If you are writing it 100 times, writing also it's useless. You start using these words, and then it will come. Voodoo, 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 voodoo. ಹೋಗೋಣ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಸಾಕ
ಅಷ್ಟೇ
ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Thanks then.
Thank you.
Thank you.